Dear students, I am Mahesh Javalkar of Maratha Mandal Polytechnic, and today I am posting my fifth video on DCET questions on subject BEEE, that is Basics of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. So we'll start with the questions. Question number 81. What is the final current while charging a capacitor? Okay. The final current is almost equal to zero while charging a capacitor because capacitor is charged up to the source voltage. So initial current will be very high, but the final current will be zero. So here option B, zero will be the answer. The final current while charging a capacitor is zero. Then we'll go to the next question. When will be capacitors fully charged? Okay, so whenever you apply a voltage across the capacitor and when the supply voltage becomes equal to the capacitor voltage, then it is said as fully charged. Okay, so when the capacitor voltage is equal to the source voltage, it means that all the charges have moved from one plate of the capacitor to the other. So here the option B will be the right answer when the supply voltage is equal to the capacitor voltage. Okay, then we'll go to the next question. Question number 83. What is the total capacitance when three capacitors C1, C2, C3 are connected in parallel? So when they are connected in parallel, so when you have C1, C2, C3 in parallel like this, C1, C2, C3, this is C1, this is C2, this is C3. When they are in parallel, then the equivalent capacitance is given as C1 plus C2 plus C3. So it is just opposite in the concept of resistance and inductance. Capacitance in parallel, C equivalent is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. So here option B will be the right answer, C1 plus C2 plus C3. Then we'll go to the next question. Question number 84. Calculate the total capacitance in this diagram, in this circuit. So here we see we are having a capacitance of 1 farad plus you are having 2 farad plus you are having 10 farad. So 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 10 is equal to 13 farad is equal to your total capacitance or equivalent capacitance because it is in parallel combination. So here option C, 13F will be the right answer. Then we'll go to the next question. Calculate the voltage across AB if the total charge stored in the combination is 13C. So here we he has told total charge Q is equal to 13C. Okay, and we know that Q is equal to CV. Okay, so now we are having this thing capacitance C equivalent is equal to 13F. Okay, so from this formula Q is equal to CV, we can have V is equal to Q upon C, which is equal to 13 upon 13, which is equal to 1 volt. So answer is 1 volt here. So option A, 1 volt will be the answer. Then we'll go to the next question. Question number 86. Calculate the charge in the 2F capacitor. Okay. So 2F capacitor. Now it is in parallel and the voltage applied will be same. Okay. So here V is equal to 100 volt and capacitor is asking to find out in 2F. So charge Q is equal to CV, which is equal to 2 into 100, that is equal to 200 coulombs. Okay, so Q is equal to 200 coulombs. So here option A will be the right answer. Then we'll go to the next question. Calculate the total charge of the system. So total charge of the system. Now in this case, you have to take the total capacitance. Total capacitance will be equal to 1F plus 2F, 1F plus 2F, that is equal to 3F, okay? And voltage is equal to 100 volt. Therefore, charge is equal to C into V, which is equal to 3 into 100, which is equal to 300 coulombs. Okay, so here answer will be 300 coulombs. So answer is option C, 300 coulombs. Then we'll go to the next question. When the capacitors are connected in parallel, the total capacitance is always dash the individual capacitance values. So when they are connected in parallel, okay, when they are connected in parallel, say this is capacitor 1, this is capacitor 2, this is capacitor 3. Okay, say this is 1 farad, this is 2 farad, and this is 3 farad. So the equivalent total capacitance will be 1 plus 2 plus 3, which is equal to 6 farad. Okay, so the total capacitance is always greater than the individual capacitance. So option A will be the right answer over here. Then we'll go to the next question. Question number 89. Two capacitors having capacitance values as 4F. Okay, so two capacitance is having capacitance value as 4F. That means 4 farad plus 4 farad. Okay, three capacitors having capacitance values as 2F. So plus 2F plus 2F plus 2F. Okay, and five capacitors having capacitance values of 1F. So plus 1F plus 1F plus 1F plus 1F plus 1F. Five capacitors. Okay, they are connected in parallel. Calculate the equivalent capacitance. So equivalent capacitance will be the sum of all this. So 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 2 10 plus 2 12 plus 2 14 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So the total capacitance will be 19 farads. Okay. So here option B will be the answer, 19 farad. Then we'll go to the next question. Three capacitors, each of capacity C, okay, are given. The resultant capacity is 2 by 3C, can be obtained by using them. Okay, so here there are three capacitors whose each value of each capacitor is C. Okay, that means and the resultant should be 2 by 3. That means here two should be connected in parallel. So two capacitors should be connected in parallel. So here you can say C plus C is equal to 2C. This is connected in parallel. And the third capacitor should be connected in series. So 2C in series with C, which will give you 2C into C upon 2C plus C, which is equal to 2C square upon 3C. Okay, so this C will go, this square will go. So it will be 2 by 3C. Okay, so here we see that two capacitors should be in parallel and one capacitor should be in series with that combination. So out of these options, option C will be the right answer. Two in parallel and third in series with this combination. Okay. Then we'll go to the next question, question number 91. The charging of a capacitor through a resistance follows which law? Okay, so we have always seen that charging and discharging. Okay, so it always follows something like exponential law. Okay, it is not linear, it is not square, it is exponential law. So here option C will be the right answer. The charging of a capacitor through a resistance follows exponential law. Then we'll go to the next question. Question number 92. In a variable capacitor, the dielectric used is generally. So whenever we have a variable or capacitor where we want to change the capacitance value, in that case, the dielectric generally used will be air. So option A, air will be the right answer. Okay. Then we'll go to the next question. A 220 ohm resistor is in series with a 2.2 microfarad capacitor. Then what is the time constant? Okay, so here it is a resistance in series with a capacitor. Okay, resistance is 220 ohm and capacitor is 2.2 microfarad. Then time constant is RC, which is equal to 220 ohms into 2.2 into 10 to the power of minus 6 farads. Okay, so this is nothing but 220 into 2.2 is 480. 480 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So this is nothing but 480 microseconds. So time constant is equal to 480 microseconds. So this is the answer. Answer B, that is 480 microsecond. So here the right answer will be option B, 480 microsecond. Then we'll go to the next question. What happens to the current in a coil while accelerating a magnet inside it? Okay. So whenever we have a magnetic field and a change in magnetic field will induce an EMF, electromotive force, that is voltage. Okay, when there is an EMF, there has to be a current. Okay, that means whenever a magnet is moved inside a coil, the current will add up, the current will increase. Okay, so here for this question, what happens to the current in a coil while accelerating a magnet inside it? That current will increase. So option A will be the right answer, increases. Okay, then we'll go to the next question, question number 95. The total number of magnetic field lines passing through an area is termed as what? So the total number of magnetic lines is known as magnetic flux. So if you are having a conductor, okay, if you're having a conductor, and in that conductor, if you show magnetic lines of force, okay, so say this is the conductor. So here if you show this magnetic lines of force, okay, so this is magnetic lines, this is magnetic lines, this is magnetic lines. Okay, so this is magnetic line. So this will be called as magnetic flux. So this answer will be the right answer. That is option C, magnetic flux is the right answer. Then we'll go to the next question, question number 96. What does EMF stand for? Okay, EMF stands for electromotive force. It is a voltage developed by any source of electrical energy. So here option B, electromotive force is the full form of EMF. Then we'll go to the next question. What is EMF? Now, basically, EMF is a voltage. Okay. So, EMF is a voltage. It is not force or it is not current or it is not flux. EMF is basically a voltage. Okay. So, it is a voltage developed by any source of electrical energy. So, here option B will be the right answer. Voltage. Then we'll go to the next question. Question number 98. The law that the induced EMF and current always oppose the cause producing them. Okay, so a voltage applied to a magnetic field or a magnetic field cuts the lines of force and the voltage is induced it. Okay, whenever a magnetic field is cut by a conductor and voltage is induced in it, the direction of that induced voltage will be opposite to the cause producing it. Okay, and this is nothing but a Lenz law. So here, out of these four names, Faraday, Lenz, Coulomb, and Newton, the direction of the induced EMF and current always oppose the cause producing it is in the Lenz law. So B, Lenz will be the correct answer. Then we'll go to the next question, question number 99. As per Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, an EMF is induced in a conductor whenever it cuts the magnetic lines of force or magnetic flux. That means option C is the right answer here. EMF will be induced whenever the a conductor cuts magnetic flux. So option C will be the right answer here. Then we'll go to the next question, question number 100. The property of coil by which a counter EMF is induced in it when the current through the coil changes. Okay, so if you are having a coil, okay, if you are having a coil and say this is your coil and there is a current flowing. Now this current flowing changes, this will produce magnetic lines of force, varying magnetic lines of force, which will be cut by the same coil, and the EMF will be induced in the same coil. This is called as self-inductance. So the option A will be the right answer over here. That is self-inductance. The property of coil by which a counter EMF is induced in it when the current to the coil changes is known as self-inductance. So option A will be the correct answer here. So these are another 20 questions which I have taken on a charging discharging of capacitor, Lenz's law, Faraday's law, and electromagnetic induction. Okay. In my next video, I will take the questions on the next topic of BEEE subject. Thank you very much.